Hello, my darling people. This is Iris, and I want to share an example of a visionary values monologue. We work with wonderful questions. We work with a key word that expresses a value that really means a lot to us. And as most of you know, I am a dedicated peacemaker, always have been, always will be. So the word I have chosen is freedom. And I'd like to read to you an example. One of the nice things about this program is that people can read their examples. It's not about perfection, it's about the intention. And of course, if someone's going to be doing this as a fundraiser, they will, of course, practice it a lot more than I have. But I'm going to go ahead and take a moment and read to you my example so that people can get a feel for what a valuable, wonderful, visionary monologue sounds like, where we celebrate our values and our vision. Here we go. It's about freedom. I want to share what I appreciate most about freedom. I appreciate how natural and inherent it feels, how it energizes my body with a sense of power and openness. The joy, love, and unity that are so present when freedom is celebrated within groups, like when we win a war or when the Berlin Wall came down. I deeply appreciate that freedom is free and available to tune into right now. Interesting ways I can imagine creating more freedom involve clearly deciding to have it and practicing it. I can imagine creating more freedom by imagining that I have it fully for a day, no matter what goes on. Simplifying my life affords me more freedom for sure. I take delight in dancing with the focus of feeling freedom in my body, mind, and emotions. I can imagine creating more freedom by choosing and claiming it again and again. I remember as a child, I experienced a strong sense of freedom every time I listened to the song Born Free by Andy Williams. It still makes my heart sing. I love that song. I'm going to share a fascinating experience that I had that illustrates freedom for me. Once upon a time, in the creative moment of now, there lived an interesting crone woman who lived in the mountains of Idaho, who was often referred to as the village idiot. She was certainly no scientist nor scholar, yet she was prone to love, for she possessed the heart of a true spiritual servant. One day, the simple village woman was seemingly deep and had a deep spiritual realization that arose from her core, rising again and again from a still deeper level, like a wellspring, a pure fountain of dancing joy. Her profound realization about her greatest joy in life flowed up through her as it brought a quivering shiver up her spine. She breathed deeply as the realization of her joy washed over the fullness of her being on a deep soul level. Her attitude of gratitude sprung an instant smile across her delighted face, and her eyes glistened. Reawakening at an instinctual level, she seemed to glow, reclaiming the joy that her conscious honoring of people has always given her. People have always fascinated her with their unique talents, skills, abilities, goals, dreams, and challenges. She watched the knowing unfold as she witnessed how her love for so many people, grounded in a universal respect, has always brought her natural encouragement and wisdom to the forefront. She sees the strong pattern in her life of how seemingly everything she has learned and enjoyed creating has now blossomed into this important realization about honoring people. Regardless of her fleeting thoughts, the ground of universal respect has always supported and encouraged her. She humbly knows that the profound importance of the will to honor others, coupled with the will to honor herself, has fully blossomed into a delicious fragrance. Honoring all as one, she felt like a grand sacred harmony in attunement with the glories of heaven and earth. A sacred circle of honoring swells and flows within her and throughout the meadows at her feet as her heart overflows with tears of gratitude. She is grateful that she has learned how to respect and love herself by extending respect and love to others first. She wonders if we can all learn self-respect and self-love by giving it to others first. She is grateful she has learned how to honor herself by honoring others first. She wonders if we can all learn to honor ourselves by honoring others first. She laughs as she realizes how seldom she has had respect and honor given to her first. She gained them instead rather magically by giving them away and serving others first. Her mission is to hold the intention for healing every level of discord here on our lovely planet for herself and all others, while holding her love's life's divine harmony in a warmly cuddled embrace. Honoring is her sacred circle of happiness and healing. Even beyond as far as her visionary sight can see, there is oneness as a sacred harmony. Some called her an idiot as she danced beneath the stars at night with sheer delight. Yet her blessing was her heart's harmonious insight, and she was free. Positive new activities feeling more freedom might inspire me to enjoy are dancing and singing, praying and chanting within freedom's warm embrace, reading poetry and quotes about freedom, celebrating Independence Day as also being a day of personal freedom and interdependence. That really works for me. I could create and share a Free Spirit Award. I trust I can appreciate the influence of freedom in my life in even deeper ways by loving it dearly and choosing it again and again, and noticing how freedom feels within me as both strength and purposeful power. I trust I can appreciate the influence of freedom in my life in an even deeper way by radiating it consciously to others with my presence. Yes, I know I can appreciate the influence of freedom in my life when I listen to Black people's historical freedom songs, like We Shall Overcome by Pete Singer and Joan Baez. What I can benefit from releasing or letting go of to draw more freedom into my life? Great question. I can certainly benefit by letting go of feeling controlled by anyone or anything, authority figures, bosses, doctors, government agendas, and releasing any tangled webs that I have woven. Still a work in progress for me. Yeah, freedom matters. I wonder what relationships could benefit most from my claiming and sharing more freedom. When I think about it, I realize that all people benefit, and all of life benefits too. Also, people in other countries who are literally less free, especially repressed women. A relationship that could benefit most would be anyone who feels addicted to anything and people with restrictive movements. I can strongly sense I'm demonstrating freedom when I feel taller and stronger, like I embody it, when I am present and honoring it as my reality and trusting that it resonates and spreads and transforms. That's lovely to me. I can strongly sense I'm really honoring freedom when I see and feel evidence of it almost everywhere, with birds and playful animals. I can strongly sense I'm demonstrating freedom when I'm at protests and peace gatherings. Other positive qualities I invite to inspire my experience of freedom are peace, forgiveness, unity, guidance, innocence, illumination, joy, being, honoring, love, loyalty, and of course, trust. I wonder what matters about freedom to most people. The ways that it is freeing and unifying individually and collectively, and how it rings true as inherent perfection. And I think most people appreciate how joyful and powerful the celebrations for freedom are, and how it is free, and how we can give it to others in small ways, and how we give it to others and therefore often receive it in relationships. When I contemplate who needs freedom the most, I think about people in war-torn countries and people who are addicted to anything. Our politicians must find freedom and cherish it and preserve it and actually budget for it. Now, there's a concept. Our military budgets need to cherish friendship and freedom and equality in my visionary reality. That's the truth. We know that freedom is a universal quality because everyone everywhere fights for it and surrenders to it when necessary. Freedom is universal quality by the way it opens us up to essential oneness and blends and enhances with other values. We also know the instinctual need that we have for freedom as universal within every part of our being when we listen for it. I feel strongly that freedom comes from within, and it all starts within me. And I recognize freedom must be earned in every relationship. I appreciate that freedom can also inspire foundational trust within people and countries. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. If I found a wise voice to express the impact of freedom, I think it might say, I am true freedom. Let freedom ring speaks to the way it resonates within every soul. It has the tone of truth, justice, and equality, and freedom's impact is global and yet highly personal. I am freedom, often taken for granted, and therefore most popular during times of imprisonment, addiction, and war. I can set the spirit free, especially when singing or dancing with free-spirited abandon. Thank you so much for listening to my example of a visionary values monologue about freedom. I know that you're going to write a great one. I love all the story questions and all of the resources that I offer for you to write your own. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.